Good morning, students. So, in this class, I am going to discuss some important parts of object-oriented programming in C++, that is friend functions and friend class. So, we have already discussed about class objects in the previous series of classes. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss what is friend functions, how it is used, what is friend class, how it is used, with examples. So, what is friend function? First, I'm going to tell about what is friend functions. We know that private data members of a class can be accessed through the member functions. Okay, so private data members of a class can be accessed through the member functions of that class only, not outside that. It is the but it is general concept. So, but sometimes we need functions that can be accessed private data members of more than one class. Suppose from another class we are going to use uh, private data members in another class. Then what happened? Then we need the help of friend functions, because when a function becomes friend of that class, then all private data members of that class can be used in the friend function, and ultimately that friend function can be accessed through the objects of that class. So a friend function is a special function which permitted full access to private and protected member of a class. Okay, when a functions become a friend to a class, then that functions permit full access to private and protected member of that class. So how we declare that? To declare a function as a friend function, we need to prefix the keyword friend to the function prototype. That means, suppose here, for example, friend function can be declared as follows in the syntax of C++: friend keyword, then this function is void display. So then this function become friend of any class where we are declared. Okay, then a friend function has to be declared within the class which will be treated as a friend. Suppose void display is a friend function, then we declare this friend function inside the class in which it is going to be friend. Okay, next, a friend can be a function template or member functions, or a class template in which the entire class and all of its member functions are friend. Means here we discuss only friend functions. In the next slide we are going to discuss about friend class. So friend, it will be friend function to a class or a friend class to entire class. Okay, so example, now we take an example about to demonstrate friend functions. Here this program is written in C++. We have already know, I think, has include IOStream, this pre-processing directive, then using namespace std standard. Then we take a class box. We may take another class also, but here in example we take a class box, and here integer white means prostholism. Then public visibility mode আমি friend function এটা declare কৰিছো. This is friend void print white, মানে আমি void to আমি print কৰাৰ কাৰণে আৰু এটো friend to the class box. Okay, and another functions void set with integer with এটো আমি প্ৰস্তুত পঠোৱাৰ কাৰণে মানে যেটো ইনপুটৰ কাৰণে এটা আমি another function লৈছো box, but this is not friend. Only friend is this because friend keyword is prefix in these functions. So we close the class box class. Then we define these functions void box scope resolution operator set wide in wide means this functions of class B is defined outside the class. That is why we give scope resolution operator and we initialize wide into wide. So this is initialization. Whatever we input here, it will be set here. Now next, so it is not friend function. Now we are again define the friend function here void print white box B. So this is friend functions. So because print is a friend of box, it can directly access any member of class. That is why I mean this displays cout white of box is b dot white and l. You see white is a white is the private data member of class box and b is the object of box type. So we can access through the friend function in the friend function b dot white. It will work because it is friend function to the class box. That is why it is correct and it will work. In this way we can close this, and in integer main box B object is created. Then I think this box b dot set white 10 আমি 10 এটা the 10 পঠাইছো হেৰি এই ফাংশনটোত আমি 10 প্ৰস্থটো 10 ভ্যালু পঠাইছো আৰু print white b box should be b. Okay, it is actually some mistake. This b dot set white 10 and print white b and return 0. Then from this the output will be the white of the box is 10. So here not output is given, but if we run this program then white of the box is 10 will come. Here what I think you understand this program. Here again I remind you, here void print white is a friend functions of class box and this is non-friend function. So it is we send our input through this set white functions, and here friend function is defined outside the class. So we access the private data member white of box B through the dot operator of with object B of class box, and it is workable because this is friend to the box class box. And finally we again create object is create B for box class, and we b dot this we call these functions with the object, and again we friend function again we call in the main, so with the object of class box, and finally we get the output white of the box is 10. Now come to the concept friend class. Similar concept, when friend function is friend to the class, then another class may be friend to another class for some class, because friend class. So two class here. In the previous concept is one function another class. Here one class friend to another class. Just difference is here class another in the previous function and class. So here a class is friend to another class. Now we can go further step by declaring a class as a friend of another class. Then all private members of a class is accessible to its friend class B. Suppose AB, here it should be A. Suppose A class is a friend of a class B, then all private data members of class A will be accessible by the friend of class B. For example, if we want to declare class B as a friend of class A, then we have to declare clause in the class friend class B. In the bank, it is I think A. So here all private members of class A will be accessible from class B. For example, we demonstrate for friend class. Here include IOStream. This is people saying data using namespace STD standard. We would have put then class A class is defined. Just one value is an integer x. Public A integer y. This is actually constructor, so this is still not covered, but you just remember a constructor is a function, special function, same name with class, which is just initialize the values. So this is a constructor, just integer y is assigned to x. Then we declare friend class B. B is a friend class B means A is a friend of class B, means B class is a friend of A. This is friend is a keyword, so this actually small letter friend class B. Now class B, friend class will be, now class B is defined. How? Public void display AA. That means here the object of A class is created and sent here, and then share the value is a dot x. X actually x is the data members of class A. That is why, and with the help of object A we can access. So it is accessible. If B class is not friend of A, then we cannot do this. This is not accessible. But as it is friend of B class is friend of A, that is why we can access the object of A as well as data members of A. So integer main A1 object. So A1 100 is sent here. Then B1 is the object of B. So B1 dot display A1. You see, B1 dot display A1. That means we can use the functions friend class B display, and A1 is the A1 is the object of class A. As friend it will work, so return 0 and the result will be the value is 100. I think this you clearly understand this. So if you don't understand, you try to execute this program, then it will be very clear. Friend class and friend functions, these important issues in object oriented programming. So I think you understand this. Thank you. Okay.